Hey guys, welcome to part 11 of Let's Play Pokemon SoulSilver. In the last part we defeated Satan once again. Oh, we're always doing that. It always comes on to me to defeat Satan when he rises up and tries to kill us. And then we started off the next gym, or the fourth gym. Wow, the fourth gym. Technically we're already halfway there when it comes to the main quest. So yeah, we already started it off and did one battle, which was just Ghastlies. And now we're going to do the rest of the gym. Now, I've already stated that it's Ghost Gym, so if you're using any normal moves, they're not going to work. Any fighting moves, I believe, aren't going to work, but I think everything else is pretty much golden. I think their main weakness, Ghost types, are Dark, but of course, I don't have anything Dark type. If you're going to have a Dark type move, the chances are it's because you pick Totodile, and that thing learns Bite. For some reason, the Water types... both Wartortle, I think it's Wartortle, and Totodile or Croconaut learn Bite, which it's like, it's not an amazing move, but it can come in so useful. Like, you don't even think about how useful that move can be until you encounter, say, I don't know, a building full of ghosts that need biting. I don't know why Bite would affect them, but Tackle won't. But whatever, who cares? So this gym has been reworked once again for this game. Before, it was a path it was like super boring. It was a path you couldn't see, but there was 4 or 5 trainers to the side. So the path was that you just followed those trainers, so it was pretty easy. I think it just went left to right, left to right. This one they've redone it so you can see the path, but whenever you defeat one of the trainers, their lights go out, so you can't see exactly where you're treading, and if you tread in the wrong spot, you get walked back to the beginning of the gym. Now, luckily for me, and for everyone else, they made it pretty easy, this puzzle. If you accidentally fall off, leave the gym and come back, even though you've defeated the trainer, their light comes back on. So what I would recommend if you really are stuck on this puzzle, like as you can see there, her light went out, so I kind of had to be careful. So if you are stuck on this puzzle, then all you have to do is leave, and I would not recommend trying to do this whole gym in one, because first of all you're going to have to go back and heal anyway, that's inevitable. And it's pretty cool because there is a shortcut to go back and heal. You just step off the platform and the game will just warp you back to the beginning so you can go heal. And the Poké Center is like it's not that far away. So my advice is every single time just step off and yeah, just go back and heal because it makes the puzzle easier and it's just a good idea, you know. Still trying to train up Mega Dude. Mega Dude's now level 17, so it does alright, but some of these trainers have Haunters, which are actually pretty tough. And, oh god, these Ghost types Pokemon. I didn't have that much trouble with these trainers, not really. But some of their moves are just so horrible, like Curse, which cuts their HP in half but gives you a curse that you can't do anything about. And then it has Mean Look, so pretty much their strategy is to curse you and then hit you with a mean look so you can't leave, and then watch yourself die. Of course, Curse is a move that, if you use it, is terrible, because cutting your HP in half is just horrible. But of course, because you're going against AIs, and a lot of them, because you're going up against a lot of AIs, if they all use Curse, eventually it's just going to wear you down. And also, it doesn't matter how strong your Pokemon is, a Curse is eventually going to kill you. Of course, it's also a good thing that they use Curse all the time. As you just saw there, Ghastly just killed itself to give Hawkins a Curse, even though that was her last Pokemon, and it had like a tiny bit of health, so Hawkins was absolutely fine. It's definitely quite hilarious how some of them will just blatantly kill themselves. They're like, you've got a curse that doesn't affect you at all. It's not like poison, it doesn't follow you at all or anything like that, so it kind of is a bit silly. But as you can see, yes, okay, I messed up there. But the reason why I messed up, okay, let me justify this. I'm blaming the emulator again. The emulator's slow, so it's kind of, if I just hold left and go up, I have to play it a bit slower, especially with something like this where it matters where you walk, or else I just go flying off or flying past stuff. But either way, yeah, I don't really need to explain the puzzle, even though I already have. once you've beaten all the trainers, it's super simple where the path is, and I like this gym overall. It's kind of a nice design, even though the puzzle is just the standard, oh, you can't see the platforms. It's still pretty cool. They did a great job recreating this gym, especially because it was so just bland and nothingy in the original. But anyway, we're finally at the gym battle. I say finally, it took us like 5 minutes and we're there. Against Morty, which I'm trying to think of what the pun would be there. It's mortifying. Ghosts and deaths are mortifying, so Morty. I guess that's what they were going for. Again, it's they do love their puns, but some of them are a bit loose and weak. So of course he has a Ghastly. It's a ghost type gym. Of course he's gonna have a Ghastly. This one's level 21, so it's a higher level than any other ones. And I could have easily taken this Ghastly out. Like, of course no one's gonna have any trouble with this Ghastly. If you do, then I mean, what are you doing? What are you playing at? But of course I wanted Mega Dude to level up, and unfortunately Mega Dude once again got paralysed by Lick. So I just kept using water guns because that's all I could really do. It probably would have been a better idea to use rollout, because it takes a good while for me to take this thing out. This isn't a wham bam thank you man sort of situation. Mostly because I don't think anyone has said that phrase in about 50 years, but that's not the point. But this Ghastly could have easily defeated me, but once again the weird AI, how they pick their attacks, he keeps using Spite, which is an attack that reduces the other guy's last attack PP by 4. So that means eventually I would run out of power points for water gun, so I wouldn't be able to use it anymore. Luckily for me that doesn't happen, I think. Don't want to give anything away, but that doesn't happen. So yeah, Mega Dude and this Ghastly brawl it out, and takes a while. See, if Ghastly kept using Lick, it probably would have won. But one good thing that came out of this is that Morty used his Hyper Potion for this Ghastly, and that's just helpful, you know. It's just nice that that's the way it happened, because it meant it couldn't use its Hyper Potion on this other Pokemon. And if memory serves me right, he only has one Hyper Potion. So the fact that he wasted it on his Ghastly when there's a much scarier Pokemon coming up is always a good thing. So in the end, Mega Dude did it, defeated Ghastly, and I get Bubble Beam, which is nice. Once again, Mega Dude doesn't have that high special attack, but Bubble Beam is, I think power is 65 and Water Gun is 40, so that's a nice little boost. It's going to come in useful later on. So yeah, I'm forgetting Water Gun and using Bubble Beam. I probably could have forgot one of his other moves, but it was like, well, Bubble Beam has a decent amount of PP to it, and I'm never going to use Water Gun again. I don't think there'll be a situation where I need it, so I might as well get rid of that, because eventually it's going to learn Surf, so that's the plan anyway. So because, for some reason, I've talked about this before, but for some reason the tradition with the gyms have recently changed, where they would send out their weakest Pokemon first, and then they would normally send out their strongest. And it's definitely something I've noticed since not sure, since like the 3rd gen at least. That's how most gyms go. It's not guaranteed. They could just send out their next weakest or their second Pokemon, but for me they always seem to send out their strongest second, or in Bugsy's case first, which was always a big surprise. So the way I wanted to tackle this Gengar, because I've played this game before, this Gengar it's a bitch, okay? Don't like to, you know, excuse my French and all that, but this Gengar is so annoying to fight. It's super strong, it has really annoying attacks, and it can just take you down if you're not careful. So my plan was to send out the Fluff that I didn't think the Fluff could really do much to it, but I needed it paralysed. I can't really put it to sleep, I don't have anything else like that, and it's just generally a good idea to paralyse a gym leader's strongest Pokemon. It's just a good idea, you know. Maybe it'll come in useful, maybe it won't. And then I thought I would send out E-Rock, which unfortunately died straight away. So that left Hawkins, because I thought, well, this Gengar is incredibly strong. I'm going to have to try and find some sort of way to not instantly get killed by its Shadow Ball. And I've already paralysed it, so I sent out Hawkins to hit it with a Sand Attack. And then I went for the Twister, which is a Dragon type move, which is kind of nice. Just to see how much damage it would do. Unfortunately it didn't do a lot, which is why I'm now back to using Sand Attacks. So now I'm using the cheap, I'll admit it's cheap, strategy of using sound attacks on a Pokemon so it can't hit you, because I can't take Gengar's hits. I have no Pokemon that can successfully take Gengar's hits or Shadow Balls. It killed E-Rock in one, so I was like, well crap, if I'm gonna... I need to slowly wear this thing down, because it's really high defensive and special defense and my attacks aren't doing much, so I just need to wear this thing down, so I need it not to hit me. So yeah, hit it with I think 3 sand attacks in total at this point, and now I'm just going to slowly wear it down. But I got super lucky there. It was paralysed and couldn't move for 3 turns in a row. That's like crazy, it's 3 turns in a row. I then kind of got worried with that because it had a berry. I think that's the 3rd time. 3rd or 4th time, but a stupid amount of times in a row. More than twice in a row, you're just really lucky. I can't imagine if that happened to me. It would drive me insane if I was paralysed and 3-4 times in a row I couldn't attack. I mean, that would just be like horrible, so stressful. But the reason why this Gengar can be really horrible and why you want to be really careful, because if it hit me with that hypnosis, it has an attack called Dream Eater, which pretty much, if a Pokemon's asleep and they use Dream Eater, it's a really powerful attack that will damage you and heal it. So even if you can manage to take down this Gengar's health to really low level, if it puts you asleep and uses Dream Eater, it's just going to heal itself. So it also has that berry, and it's a good thing more to use that Hyper Potion, because of course if he hadn't used that Hyper Potion earlier, it's another way this Gengar could have healed. So it's already super tough, and it has like 3 different ways it can heal itself or be healed, which is why I had to make sure it didn't hit me and had to use the sand attacks, because I couldn't... if it healed itself using Dream Eater or started to do that, it would have been all over. But luckily, once again, I got lucky. It did hit me with hypnosis, which is annoying, but I've been getting really lucky with the paralyzations. Gengar once again was paralyzed. It's at least been 5-6 times that it hasn't been able to attack, which is kind of nice. And Hawkins is asleep, but Gengar can't do anything to it. It keeps trying to use Sucker Punch, which Sucker Punch is... I believe it's a different version of a quick attack, so it will always attack first if you attack it. I believe that's it. Or it can mess up some other way. And also, that was kind of nice. Shadow Ball doesn't affect Hawkins. I had no idea. I had no idea about that. It's kind of embarrassing. Really, the move should have been I sent out Hawkins because I knew Shadow Ball wouldn't hurt it. But of course, I wasn't aware of that. But it's kind of worked out in the end. So yeah, that's what this battle really comes down to, that Gengar, and that Gengar can be so horrible and can just do so much damage to you that's what that whole fight comes down to. So now all I have to do is fight these 2 Haunters, and the first one cuts its HP in half and curses Hawkins, which is kind of nice. Once again, I get lucky with the critical hit, so of course Hawkins has this down. I believe Haunter... Yeah, Haunter can do the same thing that Gengar does, using Hypnosis and then Dream Eater, because I believe it has Nightshade, Hypnosis, Dream Eater, and whatever that attack was that it just hit Hawkins with, whatever that was, I can't remember, it was 2 seconds ago. This is embarrassing, let's move on. So yeah, so now Hawkins is cursed, but I have enough Pokemon. Okay, E-Rock's dead, the Fluff is dead. Megadu's still alive, but I still have York, so only 1 more Pokemon. At this point it was going to be smooth sailing, I hope. Looking at how much video we have left, I don't think it was completely. It's not quite a slam dunk as in with the Azalea gym. Once you took out that Cypher, it was a slam dunk. It's not quite the case here. If the Gengar wears you down too much, you can have a lot of troubles with these Haunters. Say you only had 1 Pokemon left. If the first one, say if I only had Hawkins left, the first one hit me with a curse, so the chances are I might have lost this, which would have been really embarrassing. And I guess he did have 2 Hyper Potions, which makes it even more confusing to why he didn't heal his Gengar. That just doesn't really make any sense. I got it down to red health because I was doing next to nothing to it, but either way, this was in the bag because Flame Wheel did half damage to Haunter, I think. No, that was the curse, wasn't it? No, yeah, it does half damage to Haunter, because even though it healed itself, it, did this. Well, it almost does heal. it almost does half damage. See, at this point in the battle, it's now embarrassing for Morty. He's trying to redeem himself, trying to get back on there. He just killed York. Okay, maybe he's still in it to win it. Yeah, I'm still in the position where I'm going to win this, but of course it's the AI. He's not going to give up. But I thought I'd be really cheeky and send out Mega Dude and use a Bubble Beam just so he gets the XP, because it's a level 23 Haunter. That's a lot of amount of XP. And once again, I got lucky because, like I said, Mega Dude is a highly defense Pokemon and special defense. It's not an attacking Pokemon, it's a defensive one. So it managed to take the Nightshade pretty well, only 2 HP. And also Mega Dude could have been paralysed and not been able to attack, so that could have gone really wrong. But either way, Hawkins was always there. And now this is a sad moment. I love Marill, who's my favourite Pokemon, but for some reason he evolves at level 18. Like, why? In this generation he only has 2 evolutions and he hits the final evolution at level 18. There's not that many Pokemon that do that besides bug Pokemon. They don't hit their final one. Like Mankey and Rattata evolve at like a lot later on. So yeah, that was kind of annoying, but I mean I still like a Marill. I think that's it. But I had the same problem with Black and White too. I had the baby one, the Zuru, I can't remember the name, and it evolved, because it evolves in happiness, it evolved into Marill and then instantly evolved into the next one. But with that anyway, that's time to end off the part. So next time in Let's Play Pokemon Soul Silver, we are going to, I don't think we're going to leave the city, but we got the gym badge, so I think we should do something else. So I've been Arsenal23, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you next time.